If you are here, it is likely because you are tired of trying to become something in order to be chosen, tired of strategies that ask you to perform, impress, or subtly compete for attention, tired of being told that magnetism is about saying the right thing, pulling the right distance, or presenting the most desirable version of yourself on the surface level. At some point, the question shifts. You stop asking, "How do I get his attention?" and begin asking, "Why does none of this feel true to my soul?" You may sense that something about third-dimensional attraction feels hollow, that chasing, proving, or positioning yourself never creates real union, only temporary reactions. And deep down, you already know, if this connection is sacred, it cannot be built on distortion. In today's message, we are stepping out of performance and into devotion. Not devotion to him, but devotion to your own energetic truth. This is not a conversation about luring, manipulation, or strategy. It is not about becoming addictive through scarcity, mystery, or emotional leverage. It is about understanding a deeper form of magnetism, one that arises naturally when you are anchored in yourself. We will explore what it actually means to become magnetic to the divine, masculine, without forcing outcomes, without chasing energy, and without bending your essence to be desired. This is a softer conversation, a deeper one, a sacred exploration of attraction that does not demand effort, only alignment. By the end of this video, something subtle but powerful will shift. You will begin to recognize that true magnetism does not come from doing more. It comes from being more present with yourself. You will see why devotion is more potent than performance, and why authenticity carries a frequency no strategy can replicate. This message is an invitation to return to yourself, to stop seeking magnetism outside of you and realize it has always been generated within. When you embody that truth, attraction is no longer something you chase, it becomes something that responds. And that is where everything changes. Section 1. The first addiction is to yourself. If you wish to become truly addictive to your divine masculine, the journey does not begin with him, it begins with you. Long before energy can be felt externally, it must be cultivated internally. The deepest magnetism is never manufactured through effort or strategy. It is born from intimacy with the self. To become addictive to yourself means to turn your love inward with intention and reverence. It means learning how to nourish your own heart, how to hold yourself with care, and how to speak to your inner world with kindness instead of criticism. You begin to love on yourself not as a concept, but as a daily practice. You soften toward your own emotions. You become sweet with your own sensitivity. You allow gentleness to exist without mistaking it for weakness. You learn how to be soft without ever making yourself smaller. At the center of this devotion is the return to your inner sacred alchemical marriage. This is the union between your inner feminine and your inner masculine, the intuitive, feeling, receptive aspect of you, harmonizing with the grounded, protective, directive force within. When this bond has been neglected, you seek externally what has gone missing internally. But when this bond is restored, something profound shifts. You begin to remarry yourself again and again, choosing wholeness daily. You rethread this inner connection through presence, self-trust, and conscious self-honoring. As this inner marriage stabilizes, your relationship with yourself deepens. You become deeply in love with your own presence. Silence no longer feels empty, it feels full. Time alone becomes nourishing rather than lonely. You grow devoted to your own becoming, not rushed by comparison or distracted by validation. You become anchored in a love that does not waver with circumstances, a love that lives within you, steady and self-sustaining. This is where true magnetism begins, not in chasing, not in performance, not in trying to be desired, but in embodying a frequency so whole, so self-held, so alive with inner devotion that it naturally draws resonance. When you are addicted to your own wholeness, your energy speaks before words ever do. And that is the kind of attraction no one can resist. Before we move forward, take a gentle pause and let this truth settle within you. Notice what arose as you listened, any softening in your chest, any recognition, any resistance, or quiet clarity. This work begins with awareness, and awareness deepens when it is honored. If this message resonated, I invite you to reflect for a moment and join the conversation below. Share what this stirred in you, or simply type, "I choose myself first" as a declaration of your inner commitment. Your voice matters here, and your reflection may be the mirror someone else needs as we continue into the next layer of this journey. Section 2. Becoming addicted to inner light and inner peace. There comes a moment on the spiritual path when you realize that true magnetism is not created by reaching outward, but by turning inward and staying there long enough to remember who you are. This is where a new kind of devotion begins. Allow yourself to become deeply, deliberately addicted to the light that lives inside you, not as an escape from the world, but as a conscious anchoring into your own essence. This inner light is not fragile or fleeting. It is steady, self-renewing, and always available when you choose to return to yourself. Let peace become something you crave more than chaos, more than emotional intensity, more than the highs and lows of external validation. Become addicted to the feeling of calm settling into your nervous system, to the quiet clarity that arrives when you are aligned with your truth. Let passion rise naturally from this place, not the restless passion of longing, but the grounded passion of purpose, the kind that fuels your creativity, your vision, and your willingness to show up fully in your life. Your creative fire was never meant to be ignited by someone else. It was placed within you so that you could learn to tend it, protect it, and let it illuminate your path. As you deepen this relationship with yourself, allow your joy to come from inside rather than from the anticipation of another person's attention, choices, or return. Joy that depends on someone else is always conditional. Joy that rises from inner alignment is stable, nourishing, and self-sustaining. When your fulfillment is rooted in your own growth, your own healing, and your own expansion, you stop waiting for life to begin. You realize it has been unfolding within you all along. Fall in love with the process of becoming the highest version of yourself, not as a performance, not as a goal to prove your worth, and never as a way to earn approval or validation. Do it because your soul recognizes its own expansion. Do it because something within you feels more alive, more honest, and more whole each time you choose yourself. This kind of self-love is not loud or dramatic. It is consistent, devoted, and deeply transformative. When you are truly full from within, something subtle yet powerful shifts. You stop searching for completion outside of yourself. You stop grasping, chasing, or waiting for someone else to fill a space that no longer exists. And in that quiet, grounded fullness, everything changes. Your energy softens, your presence deepens, and your life begins to respond differently. Not because you tried to control the outcome, but because you finally came home to yourself. Section 3. Addiction to mission and purpose. There is a deeper form of devotion that begins once you stop orbiting around external desires and start orienting your life around meaning. This is where you become addicted, not to distraction, not to approval, but to your mission. You feel it as a quiet, steady pull inside your chest, a knowing that you are here for something specific, something that wants to move through you rather than be postponed or diluted. To become devoted to your calling is to honor that pull daily, even when it asks more of you than comfort ever could. Allow your divine mission to expand beyond the limits you once placed on it. Take it to the next level by living it, not just thinking about it. Travel when you are called. Explore new environments, new cultures, new perspectives. Let the world stretch you and soften you at the same time. Love openly and without reservation, not as an obligation, but as a natural expression of who you are becoming. When your life is aligned with purpose, compassion no longer feels like an effort. It flows from you effortlessly, touching every space you enter. As your commitment to purpose deepens, discernment becomes essential. You learn to walk away from spaces rooted in gossip, not out of superiority, but out of self-respect. You recognize how judgment fractures energy and how division drains the soul. You no longer need to convince or correct anyone. You simply choose not to participate in frequencies that pull you away from your truth. Protecting your mission means protecting the environments you allow yourself to remain in. Instead, you consciously choose unity. You choose grace in moments where reaction would be easier. You choose truth, even when it is quieter than noise and less dramatic than conflict. These choices refine your energy. They shape your character. They make your presence trustworthy and your intentions clear. Purpose is not proven through words. but through the consistency of how you move through the world. At this stage, you begin to teach without preaching. Your life becomes the message. You heal not by explaining, but by embodying what alignment looks like. People feel safer around you. They feel more themselves in your presence, not because you told them what to do, but because your way of being reminds them of what is possible. This is the frequency that transforms you into a living invitation, an invitation to rise, to remember, to choose a life led by meaning rather than impulse. Without force, without effort, without persuasion, your devotion to mission quietly signals to the world that another way of living exists and that it is already within reach. A simple yet powerful example of this devotion to mission can be seen in the way you move through an ordinary day. Imagine someone who enters a room without needing to announce themselves, without needing to prove wisdom or superiority. They listen fully. They speak with care. When conversation turns toward gossip or judgment, they do not correct or confront. They gently redirect or excuse themselves, choosing peace over participation. Their presence alone shifts the atmosphere. People feel calmer, more grounded, more seen, without knowing why. Later, that same person spends time creating, serving, or building something aligned with their purpose, writing, teaching, healing, or simply offering genuine kindness to a stranger while traveling through the world. They do not call this spiritual work. It is simply how they live. Their mission is woven into their choices, their boundaries, and their way of loving. This is how purpose becomes visible, not through grand declarations, but through a life that quietly demonstrates unity, grace, and truth in motion. Section 4. Falling in love with your inner divine masculine. To truly transform the way you experience love, stability, and fulfillment, you must first become deeply devoted to your inner divine masculine. This is not about seeking strength outside of yourself or waiting for someone else to create safety in your world. This is about awakening the part of you that already knows how to stand, how to lead, and how to hold your life with grounded presence. Your inner divine masculine is the protector within you. It is the aspect of your consciousness that knows how to draw boundaries without guilt, how to choose wisely, and how to move through the world with quiet authority. It is the provider energy that ensures your needs are met, not only materially, but emotionally and energetically. This is the force that makes you feel safe inside your own body, secure in your decisions, and steady in the face of uncertainty. This inner presence is also the engine of your passion. It is the part of you that takes inspiration and turns it into action, that transforms dreams into plans and plans into lived reality. Without it, visions remain fantasies. With it, intentions become structures and desires gain direction. It is the energy that says, we are not just imagining a better life, we are building it. When this inner divine masculine awakens, it speaks in a calm and unwavering voice. It does not rush, it does not beg, it does not doubt. It simply says, your wish is my command, and then it begins to organize your world around what truly matters. This voice guides you toward devotion, not as sacrifice, but as sacred commitment. Devotion to love that is rooted in integrity. Devotion to passion that is expressed through action. Devotion to purpose that is lived, not postponed. As you learn to listen to this inner guidance, trust naturally replaces hesitation. You begin to follow through on what you feel called to do. You show up for yourself consistently. You build momentum through discipline infused with love rather than force. Each choice you make becomes a brick laid with intention, forming something solid beneath your feet. And in this process of listening, trusting, and building, something profound occurs. You are no longer reacting to life, you are constructing it. A new reality starts to take shape around your values. A new life begins to emerge from alignment rather than effort. A new destiny unfolds, not because you chased it, but because you prepared the ground for it to arrive. This is how a new platform is created, both within you and around you. A platform from which you love differently, choose differently, and stand differently. When your inner divine masculine is awake and cherished, love is no longer unstable or uncertain. It becomes a grounded force, and from that grounded place, a new way of loving becomes not only possible, but inevitable. Section 5. The addiction that builds destiny. There comes a moment when you can feel it happening in real time. You begin to watch yourself building a life in the third-dimensional world, not through exhaustion, force, or constant striving, but through alignment. What once required effort now unfolds through clarity. What once felt heavy now moves with intention. You are no longer pushing against life, you are cooperating with it. This is where destiny begins to take shape, not as something distant or abstract, but as something you actively construct through your inner state. You are building your future with each aligned choice. You are building your love through self-respect and inner fullness. You are building your destiny by becoming congruent with who you truly are. Nothing is rushed, nothing is forced, everything is anchored. In this state, you reconnect to a sacred remembrance, the energy of being the beloved of God, not as a concept, but as a lived reality. You stop chasing love as if it were scarce. You stop bargaining for affection or proving your worth. You no longer beg to be chosen, seen, or valued. You remember that you are already held, already known, already loved at the deepest level of existence. From this remembrance, something shifts permanently. You are no longer seeking fulfillment outside of yourself, because fulfillment has taken root within you. The hunger quiets, the striving softens, the nervous system relaxes. You realize that wholeness was never missing. It was waiting for your permission to be embodied. Joy, then, becomes natural, not something you manufacture, but something that arises effortlessly from inner peace. Passion becomes embodied, no longer scattered or suppressed, but grounded in action and creativity. Purpose becomes steady, no longer questioned or doubted, but lived with consistency and trust. You move through your days with a sense of inner authority, guided rather than reactive. And from this state of alignment, devotion, and fulfillment, something inevitable begins to occur. Life responds. Love reorganizes itself around you. Opportunities find you without pursuit. Connections meet you at your level, instead of pulling you out of yourself. What is meant for you no longer needs to be chased. It recognizes you. This is the addiction that builds destiny. Not addiction to another person, not addiction to validation, but addiction to alignment, addiction to truth, addiction to living as love rather than seeking it. And once you reach this state, the future you are building is no longer uncertain. It is already underway, forming around the energy you have become. If you have made it this far, pause for a moment and recognize what that says about you. Something in this message has met you at the right time, not by chance, but by resonance. Let this be a moment of reflection. Notice what has shifted inside you as you listened. Notice what feels steadier, clearer, or more truthful than before. If you feel called, share your story in the comments. What are you building right now? And how has alignment changed the way you move through love and purpose? And if words feel unnecessary, simply anchor this knowing with an affirmation by typing, "I build my destiny from alignment, not lack." By naming it, you strengthen it. By witnessing one another, we remember that none of us walk this path alone. Section 6. Why the divine masculine is drawn without effort. There comes a moment on the spiritual path when something profound shifts within you. You no longer feel the urge to reach outward for completion. You are no longer searching for confirmation, reassurance, or proof of your worth through another person's response. You stop chasing timelines, signs, or outcomes, not because you have given up, but because you have finally arrived fully present within yourself. And it is precisely in this state that your divine masculine feels you most strongly. The moment you release need, your energy changes. It becomes grounded, steady, and sovereign. There is no grasping in it, no pulling, no silent demand. What radiates from you instead is fullness, peace, a quiet confidence that says, "I am whole with or without you." This frequency is unmistakable to the soul. It does not need words. It does not require explanation. It is felt instantly and deeply. The divine masculine is drawn not to effort, but to truth, not to pursuit, but to presence. On a soul level, he remembers unity. He remembers what it feels like to be whole, to be aligned, to be at home within love rather than striving toward it. When you embody that state within yourself, you activate a memory within him, a remembrance that goes beyond logic, beyond circumstance, beyond the physical storyline. This is the true addiction, not attachment, not longing, not obsession, but the addiction of wholeness, the soul's natural pull toward coherence, toward harmony, toward the feeling of being complete rather than incomplete. When you live from this inner fullness, your energy becomes magnetic without intention. You are no longer trying to attract, you are simply being. And being is the most powerful signal of all. This attraction does not belong to a single dimension. It exists simultaneously across layers of reality. In the 3D, it shows up as curiosity, awareness, and an unexplainable pull. In the 5D, it is felt as energetic recognition, emotional resonance, and deep intuitive connection. In higher dimensions of consciousness, it is experienced as unity itself, the knowing that separation was always an illusion. All of this is activated not by strategy, performance, or control, but by you choosing to live as your authentic, loving, truthful self. When you honor who you are, when you stand in integrity with your soul, when your love flows inward before it ever flows outward, you become a living invitation, not one that asks, but one that allows. And in that allowance, the divine masculine is drawn not because you pursued him, but because your wholeness reminded him of his own. There comes a sacred moment on this path when something within you shifts so deeply that the world no longer pulls at you in the same way. It is the moment when the desire to know God awakens, not as an idea, not as a belief, but as a living presence within your own being. And when that desire rises, every other longing begins to soften, not because you are forcing yourself to let go, but because nothing else can compete with truth. As the desire to know your inner soul deepens, you begin to recognize that what you were searching for outside of yourself was always calling from within. The union you sought in another was a mirror of the union, waiting to be restored inside you. When your relationship with your inner divine masculine strengthens, when protection, devotion, purpose, and grounded love are reclaimed, internally external craving dissolves on its own. What remains is not emptiness, but fullness, not distance, but devotion, not striving, but peace. From this space, attraction changes its nature. You are no longer trying to be chosen, seen, or validated. You are anchored, you are whole. And because of that, your divine masculine does not need persuasion or pursuit. He feels the resonance. He recognizes the frequency. He is drawn naturally, effortlessly, instinctively, because the soul always remembers where it belongs. This is the desire that ends all other desires. The return to God within you, the return to yourself, the return to home. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to pause for a moment and anchor it. Leave a comment below clearly stating this quote: "When I return to God within me, all longing dissolves into peace." If this transmission supported your journey, please like and share this video so it can reach others who are ready to remember. And when you feel called, continue with the video below, because what unfolds next builds upon this union and takes it even deeper. You are not seeking love, you are becoming it.